Hey, but look, let's fly into this. First of all, this came in from Sport a little bit earlier, and this is Sport. They're a Barcelona outlet as far as I remember. Frenkie de Jong has ruled out joining Manchester United. There it is on the screen, coming in via Managing Barca that we got it on the United Stand Twitter account. And then it further says that Frenkie de Jong believes that Manchester United have bad luck and that joining them now with no Champions League football would be a loss of prestige compared to Barcelona. I mean, that is right, Frankie. I mean, I'm not going to be outraged. I'm not going to be outraged at all about that. I'm going to talk about what Duncan Castles has said in a moment, Shahan. But if you actually listen to the start of the show, you'd know I've already mentioned that, and I might be leading to that in the second bit. So, pipe down. But the reality is, I don't disagree with that. I've been saying this. I know some of you've been saying this for weeks. Why would you want to come to Man United? I mean, apart from the fact that Erik ten Hag's a manager that you like, I mean, I really do think that Frenkie de Jong leaving Barcelona to Manchester United is a massive step down. Of course, I want it to happen. As a United fan, I'm like, bloody hell, how have we managed to do this? But it's always been a confusing one for me, because why you would leave Barcelona, a club on the up, to Manchester United, which is a club that's been on the down for 9 years, I don't know. So I don't necessarily have a problem with him saying that. Welcome to the Members Club, Dan. But before I comment on that, I feel that I must just read out some of the comments that are coming in from Duncan Castles, which have just very recently come out. And he is basically saying this. Now, this is a guy that had been a little bit quiet in relation to this transfer window recently. But last week he came out with the story about Manchester United and Ronaldo and the transfer request that we thought at the time might be nonsense, and he ultimately proved to be correct. He's also gone on to say that there's a few things that he said as well, but mainly in relation to Frenkie de Jong. He said this, that in relation... I'm trying to find it now. I can't find the bloody quote. I know what it was off the top of my head. Anyway, so basically Duncan Castles has said that Manchester United, despite Manchester United, Erik ten Hag, Barcelona, and the agent of Frenkie de Jong agreeing fees and everything like that, despite all their efforts to persuade Frenkie de Jong to take the transfer, he still intends to stay at Barcelona. So, that's... I mean, Slurp says, is it just a big waste of time? Look, I've got to be honest. My initial reaction is I'm not panicking, because I have to believe... Well, look, basically, if we don't get Frenkie de Jong, John Murtough needs sacking. Like, it's as simple as that. I don't really care about saying someone should be sacked. In the football industry, we said Solskjaer should be sacked. We said Mourinho should be sacked. This is the industry we live in. Murtough should be sacked if we don't get Frenkie de Jong. Pure and simple. Like, you should be sacked, mate. And anybody involved in this. And maybe Richard Arnold should be sacked as well. It is an absolute embarrassment. And we've had plenty of embarrassments. But if we don't sign Frenkie de Jong, it's an absolute joke. It's an absolute embarrassment. And the reason I say that is because the whole world knows, because United let it be known, that we were focusing on Frenkie de Jong a month ago. It was actually almost a brief from all of their journalists that Man United are not doing any of the signings at the moment because they want to get the Frenkie de Jong deal done. And there's confidence that they will get it done. The transfer window opened up in the middle of June, but really, Frenkie de Jong and Ten Hag had been speaking since early May. From the middle of May, we started with Ten Hag. He came straight here after winning the title with Ajax. We've been on this deal for 2 months now. You can't be on a deal like this and in the middle of July say he doesn't want to come. Like, why? It's like an arranged marriage, isn't it? Like, what there's got to be. You can't just do that. You can't just go and say to Barcelona, do you want to sell him? Yeah, we do. He doesn't want to come though. Yeah, but let's crack on. Let's negotiate for a couple of months. Let's sort all the fee out, and then he might change his mind. He's still not changed his mind. Don't worry. Do you want 60 million? We'd like 65. It's not changed his mind yet, has he? You just can't do that. You can't do that. And if United have done that, I just think it's massively embarrassing. So I still think it will happen, because I just don't think... the more I talk... when in your head, conversation sometimes is in conflict with when your mouth talks. What I think in my head is that we'll do this deal because we can't have been so stupid as to waste so long on a priority signing that doesn't want to come. But when I talk that, my head is saying, this is Man United. Where have you been for the last 9 years? This is exactly the sort of thing United would do. But I'm sort of still in love with the new United thing we heard, where things we're going to learn from the past and we're going to be different, because this is like the worst thing Ed Woodward and Matt Judge could do. I know there's a lot of similarities, but this would be worse than Sancho. This would be worse than Perisic. This would be worse than taking 6 weeks on Pogba. This would be an absolute shambles, because it is our very first window for Erik ten Hag, and it is our very first summer transfer window with Murta as Director of Football and Richard Arnold as CEO and the new United. So I can't see this is not going to happen, but I'm absolutely fully aware that there's a chance it won't happen, and the more I talk, the more I'm convincing myself that it won't happen. Dan, welcome to the Members Club. Starting to believe the unbelievable. Our starting midfield next season is going to be Fred and McTominay. I makes me want to throw up, McAlvis. Don't do that. You can view pics of Arnold a decade ago smiling with the Glazers and Woodward at New York Stock Exchange. Murta was handpicked by Woodward. This is not a new United, says David. This is why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. We should have moved on a long time ago and signed Tielemans since June instead of wasting time, says Victor. Was his face and straight shooter, welcome to the Members Club. And Rory Seaside says, I for sure thought there must have been an off-the-record agreement between Frenkie de Jong and Erik ten Hag. Otherwise, why pursue it, says Rory C. Well, look, Rory, I mean, we're dealing in rumour here, and we're dealing in speculation. But the story that's coming out tonight, we should have got Basuma and Tielemans, same price, says Mandor. The story that's coming out tonight is that Manchester United, Frenkie de Jong, has ruled out a move to Manchester United. But this is the sort of thing he should have done in May. And if he did do it in May, why did we carry on? And if he was still doing it in late May, why did we carry on? And if he's still doing it in early June, why did we carry on? And mid-June and late June. We shouldn't still be hanging around for a player that doesn't want to come. There has to have been some agreement that he would come to Man United. I just don't believe this is not going to happen, basically. I don't believe that he's ruled a move out. I don't believe it, because I don't believe Erik ten Hag would be that stupid. Yes, United. Yes, the board. Yes, the bloody Director of Football. Yes, of course. They've been... Look, John Murta and Richard Arnold are not new. They've been there for bloody years, and we've made stupid mistakes for years. So they may well be part of the stupid mistakes from the past, so they can't hide the fact that we're new. This was a big summer for them. But Erik ten Hag's got nothing to do with our failure from the past. You're telling me we've appointed a manager that coincidentally is as incompetent on transfers as United's board has been for the last 9 months. Surely Erik ten Hag, the only reason Frenkie de Jong wants to come to United, or apparently wanted to come to United, or would want to come to United, is because of the relationship with Erik ten Hag. If Solskjaer was in charge, we wouldn't have a bloody chance. So Erik ten Hag has got to be the in for Frenkie de Jong. So why are we in a situation with Frenkie de Jong whereby he apparently doesn't want to come into Manchester United and do something? It's crazy, and I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. So I absolutely, I'm just going to message here. I'm just quickly trying to reply to them. It doesn't.